Hello everyone, this is Shihani Taruka and this video I am going to talk about 5G to Wi-Fi security vulnerability. Mostly I am going to focus about handover security. This is how world connected with each other using medium as 5G and Wi-Fi. And also attackers that we have to face. In nowadays, ransomware, spoofing and malwares are the main threats. The differences of 5G and Wi-Fi can line up like this. Technology type in 5G is cellular and in Wi-Fi it's wireless LAN. Then the license of 5G can be used with licensed and unlicensed brands. But in Wi-Fi we can only use unlicensed brands. About applications in 5G aka means authentication and key agreement. EAP aka and EAP TLS. Those are simple and easy to connect. In Wi-Fi applications are simultaneous authentication of equals, more difficult, requires service set identifier and password. 5G network security anchor functions and subscription permanent identifier and so on. Wi-Fi network security introduces Wi-Fi protected access tree. Use case examples for 5G are mobile backhaul, autonomous vehicle support and fixed wireless access. Examples for Wi-Fi are indoor coverage, IoT support and high density wireless service. As 5G rolls out across large public areas like hotels, shopping centers and airports, users' voice and data information on their cellular-enabled devices is communicated to both cell towers as well as Wi-Fi access points. In simply, what handover security means? Between handovering 5G cellular connection into Wi-Fi connection or Wi-Fi connection into 5G cellular connection can be hacked over the middle in that process. In this diagram, you can see the way it happens. Person drives his car to some destination and how he gets online all of this time through 5G tunnels and Wi-Fi access points. I will show you how this handover process happens. In here I am going to call this 3D creature as Mr. Galler. I am going to divide this scenario into 3 steps. As Mr. Galler wakes up in the morning and going to his office, after his shift over he is going to buy some groceries and then he drives back to his home. In the very beginning, before Mr. Galler moved out from his house, his mobile phone active as Wi-Fi because it's using home Wi-Fi via router. After he leaves house, he is not logged into home router anymore. So automatically his phone actives mobile data, which means cellular data. As a business who used 5G, after entering into office, Mr. Galler's mobile phone again automatically connects with business hotspot, which means Wi-Fi. In 5G networks, like I mentioned before, these are the attacks that we can face middle of this handover. Flash network traffic, large number of top user devices and new stuff simply called Internet of Things. Next, the radio interface encryption keys are sent over insecure channels. User plan integrity. cryptographic integrity is not protected for the user database. Mandated security in the network. Limitations of service to defense architecture that led to the use of safety measures as an alternative. Roaming security. User security parameters are not updated with roaming, which leads to security compromises with roaming. Denial of service. Attacks on the infrastructure. The network control element in control channels is visual, is natural, and does not encrypt. Signaling storms. Coordinating protocols for the third generation partnership project and access layer required distributed control systems. DOS attacks on end user devices. User devices have no security measures for operating systems, applications, and configuration data. Second step, Mr. Galleries left his house to buy groceries. His mobile phone now active as Wi-Fi because it using 5G hotspot. After he leaves office, again automatically his phone activates mobile data. Now he entering into shopping mall. Shopping malls use Wi-Fi access point, and Mr. Gala now connected with Wi-Fi because of the automatic crossover in his mobile phone. Last step is Mr. Gala is leaving shopping mall with groceries. His mobile phone now active as Wi-Fi. After leaving, automatically his phone activates mobile data. Then now he entering to his house again. Mr. Gala now connected with his home Wi-Fi. This is how automatically mobile data and Wi-Fi handover happens. According to second and third steps, Mr. Gala always end up connecting into several Wi-Fi access points. In that handover, he is a victim of attackers. Following these three access point attacks, Evil Twin AP, Rock AP, Neighbor AP, we can get Mr. Gala's login informations and so on. Now I am going to explain you how to create a fake access point on a Kali Linux virtual machine. In addition, I am going to show you how to use SSL, Stripe and Editor Cap to capture the login information of anyone who connects to our fake access point. Now, to complete this successful, I need to have a USB network adapter that supports both monitor mode and master mode. I have ordered one on eBay, but it didn't arrive yet because of this pandemic situation. So I am going to show you Mr. Chris Harrison's how to create a fake access point on Kali Linux video, because that is how I have learned this exploitation. Before it begins, I want to explain how this attack works. So what's happening is the attacker is connected to the internet, and the attacker is going to share that internet connection to a USB network adapter, which is acting as a fake access point. And when someone connects to that fake access point, they will be able to access the internet. The first thing that's going to happen, the victim is going to connect to the fake access point. Then the victim internet traffic will be routed to the fake access point and to the attacker. Once the attacker obtains the victim's internet traffic, the attacker will manipulate and lock the victim's internet traffic with SSL stripe. And this is going to allow the attacker to force the victim to use HTTP, which as a result is also going to allow the attacker to capture any usernames and passwords that the victim enters. Once SSL stripe is finished manipulating and logging the victim's internet traffic, the attacker will forward the victim's internet traffic to the router. And finally, the router will route the victim's internet traffic to whatever website the victim is attempting to communicate. So what happened in here is they were placed ourselves between the victim and the website, so as a consequence we can see any interactions that are causing between the victim and the website, and this is also referred to as the man in the middle attack. So that concludes the explanation. So let's go ahead and get started with the exploitation. The first thing that we need to do is we need to connect to the internet, and we are going to accomplish this by sharing our host operating system's internet connection with our Kali Linux virtual machine. Thank you for watching this video. Without the special support of my lecturers, Dr. Lakmal Roop Singh and Ms. Chetana Lenapathirana, this video explanation and the research paper behind it would not have taken place. The enthusiasm, knowledge and attention to detail were great inspiration for this and helped me to carry out my work properly. Thanks again.